I can only see and hear half of you guys, so I'm going to disconnect real quick and see if that fixes.
Well, welcome everybody. As I realize my desktop audio is coming through my announcement screen as well. So as you just heard, Maddie is Snowmoon is reconnecting for us right now. But welcome to another Monday night here at Proficiency Bonus, as we are continuing on our tales with We Met in a Tavern. But before we jump down that rabbit hole, a couple of quick shout-outs. Thanks to Streamlabs and Twitch, as we utilize their software and platform to do what we love doing. And our favorite sponsors, we have Little Dragon Corp up in Canada. So if you put ~ Little Dragon into chat, you can check out a link to their website. Don't forget to use the discount code PROBONUS, get 10% off your order. They will ship anywhere in the country. Well, I keep saying in the country, but they ship anywhere in the world. And we have our friends down in Evans, Georgia, Cardboard Castle Games. You can pop in ! CCG to pull up a link to their site. And you've seen some of their stuff that we had during giveaways. They've got Magic cards, Pokemon cards, D&D stuff, dice, and all the stuff you could need. My buddy Michael's friendly local game store. And with that, we will jump over to our party and what's been going on since the party arrived in Waterdeep merely 3.5 or 4 hours ago.
Worst vacation ever.
As our party arrived in Waterdeep, as their intent was to arrange travel to get to Silvery Moon. As Artemis is in need of some assistance, there is something going on with their mother. And it appears that Grandma and Grandpa may be involved in it. Artemis was approached by the Harpers and offered, I suppose we'll call it an internship or an entry-level position to their organization, which they accepted. Being advised that they were on the hunt for a rogue gnome wizard. As the party hopped a dray, found an inn, made a plan to get a little information before continuing on their travel. Artemis being advised that the Harpers did have a way to teleport from Waterdeep to Everland, which is a mere day or two's travel south of Silvery Moon. The party splintered and went their own way. Some of them went to the Font of Knowledge. Some stayed behind to do some research on these mysterious rings they've been finding. The research at the library went somewhat interesting. Sarah had a bit of a, I guess I'll call it a mental break during the time. Needed to be calmed down by our friendly cleric and then sent back to the inn. Where about halfway back to the inn, the spell wore off and Sarah went insane again. Eventually ended up in the room that she shared with Murdoch, destroyed the room as the guards were summoned. Sarah attempted to run away, hijinks ensued, and eventually we find ourselves back at the inn. Murdoch and I believe it was Snowmoon, basically got escorted back up by one of the guards to speak with the captain, who was still at the scene of the crime, whereas the other guards remained downstairs with Sarah. One of them flashing a strange tattoo that they had hidden under their bracer. And we're actually going to pick up upstairs with Murdoch and Snowmoon, who is as the two of you were led back up, and I should say Furia and Art were still up in one of the other rooms. Lydia decided to take a break and is outside of the inn basically looking and keeping a watch. So we'll start with Murdoch and Snowmoon. As the guard brings you up, and you can, as you get back up to, Murdoch, what had been your room, you can see the doors propped open. The guardsman who had been in there, who you've been advised is the captain, is now walking around. He's taking his helmet off. It's sitting on the table beside the bed. And he's just sort of shaking his head and looking around. You see him gathering up some shreds of fabric, looking at all the little divots and holes in the walls and things, as he hears the group of you turn back. Yes, no. Did you catch it? Did you catch? Downstairs. Okay. Yes, and who are you two?
My name is Murdoch. This is my coworker.
And my name is Snowmoon.
We are attendants, aides to Miss Sarah is our client.
Is that the one who did all this?
Well, not entirely true. I believe that some of the damage was due to her trying to defend herself from an otherwise yet unidentified assailant. But the one downstairs is Sarah.
Okay, and as you say that, the guy behind just gives a little nod and explains how there's somebody out there. They're looking for this other person, but you can tell, Murdoch, with even just your passive insight, this guy who escorted everybody back didn't really seem to buy into it when Sarah was saying it, and he's just sort of like, yeah, other assailant. You got somebody looking.
Yes. We are on a kind of strict time frame. I know that there is due process that needs to be done. Probably some fines to be paid and some what are the things that they issue out called? Not a subpoena.
Edicts.
Edicts. There we go. There's probably some edicts that need to be distributed, some fines that need to be paid. If we can just get a magister down here, I will get all of that squared away so that you fine gentlemen can go about your business for the day. I know the city never rests.
And you can see he's sort of... he seems to hem and haw a little bit. And he's looking around. And he looks, again, just looks past you, looks at the guard who escorted you up. Starts rambling off a couple of quick questions. Was anyone attacked on the streets? Anyone injured? Stuff, and things like that. And he's just in there. No. Oh, she threw some money. And just going in. And Captain turns back and looks at you. Okay, I'll send someone to go get a magister. We'll see if we can get down here and get this taken care of. Now, you're saying on a timetable. You not planning on being here very long?
I don't believe so. Correct, Snowmoon? We have other places that we need to be.
Yes, correct. We just stopped off for perhaps a night or two and we planned to be moving through.
Oh, wonderful. Well, give me a few more. And looks over. Yes. Just go. I know it'll take it. Just go do it. So the guy gives a little, gives a little nod, and guy who escorted you up goes taking off. He'll get to Magister, and then we'll get all of this dealt with.
Thank you.
Then, pretty much he goes taking off downstairs, and we will actually pan downstairs real quick as Sarah and her interesting companion is sitting there. And Sarah, again, as he's turned and shown you this tattoo on his forearm for a couple of seconds, and he looks around and then starts putting the bracer back on. So you're in a bit of trouble, it seems.
Do I recognize the tattoo that he flashed me?
Probably not. It's the tattoo he shows you is. I'll say go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Oh, I'm bad at those.
Just because I don't even know if you'd.
11.
Yeah, it's hard to know. It's some sort of circle, and it's got these weird sort of straight lines coming out of it. And you also notice as you're seeing that on his hand, he is wearing a beautiful platinum ring. And you notice it has a stone in the middle of it. It really sort of looks like a cat's eye almost. There's one larger stone in the middle that looks to be a peridot, and there are a bunch of little smaller stones around it that look to be amber.
It would seem I unfortunately am in a bit of a pickle here. But that's why you're here, isn't it? You guards guarding and keeping the peace
And he leans a little closer and says, "So, maybe we can help each other out a little here. You see, we're, my organization that I belong to, we, obtainers of things. We like, well, preferably anything that gives us money, or power, or both. Both is always nice.
both is nice.
But there's... So we're brought back to this inn, so I'm thinking you're not from around here, and you're not going to be here very long, are you?
No, not very. I have a couple of things to do hither and thither.
So, I propose a deal for you. We can help in getting some of these charges, these crimes you've been convicted of. They're sort of swept under the rug. And when you go out and do your business, all we ask is, when you find something shiny and powerful, remember us. Send it our way and we'll pay you good coin for it.
You know, I really wish I ran into you a couple of weeks back. You see, I had this skeleton that I think you would have really loved. Well, it wasn't a skeleton, perhaps, but it was let's call it pre-taxidermy.
He sort of looks down a little bit and says, well, if you're interested, I have two things that I can give you, and then one of my friends here will go find that individual who broke into your room and caused all this trouble.
I don't know. This is a lot to process for a little old lady like myself. Do you think I could wait until my dragonborns come back? They're very smart.
But as he looks around a little bit and leans down a little closer. Hey, listen here, lady, there's only 3 of us in this here group. If the others come down, deal's off the table. And no one will believe you. He leans back a little ways.
Can you tell me more about your little organization while we have the time? I'm gonna pull out a little piece of parchment.
As he goes to start, all of a sudden you start hearing footsteps coming down the stairs, and immediately you watch as he jumps and back up at attention, standing proper. The guy comes down the stairs. Oh, Captain wants to get this done with now. Is it send me to get a magister? They're going to bring him here right now and get this all dealt with. So I'll be back here. It shouldn't be more than like 10, 15 minutes. And then he goes to take off out the front door. And at that point, we're going to phase back upstairs to Furia and Artemis. As you guys have been sort of quietly in your room, you would have heard some muffled voices from the other room, and then rapid footfalls of this guard taking off to head down the stairs. What would the two of you be doing?
Well, I would have started to read through notes that was left on the rings. And then sort of after a while, silence has fallen, and I'd sort of look up over at Art, who's probably reading something. Art, I know I sounded really, I don't know, mean back there when I was telling Murdoch about, that Sarah really needs to know the consequences of actions, but I've spent most of my life growing up in a forest, and you don't get second chances, or there's no mercy or pity. You either survive or you don't. And I think I'm showing through a little bit more recently.
No, I get that. And, well, in a couple ways I do get that. I've almost drowned on many occasions, and realistically, I should have been dead. But I guess sailors pulled me out of the sea on many occasions. So I guess if I was in your boots, I would be one of the ones that was with the fishes in a couple different ways. I do get what you mean, though. I am a little bit frustrated too. She's not exactly giving us a lot of reasons to trust her when she goes and does things like this. Speaking of, I'm just going to investigate the damages.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with all of that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they make their way back to the inn to inspect, or I'm not sure. So if you are, just make it quick.
Yep, you got it. They're just going to quickly kind of skitter on down to the room and see what happened. Or what's left of the room.
You are muted.
Thank you. What else is new? Keep in mind, at this point, you can hear people, as you come out and start walking towards it, you can hear what sounds to be Murdoch and Snowmoon having a conversation with one other voice in that room.
I'm gonna peek-a-rooney my head right in there and just kind of see what's going on.
Oh, okay. So, I may be dating myself. Has anyone here played lawn darts? You know those
Yes.
like oversized jump? Yep.
I know what it is.
It basically it looks like Sarah took a lawn dart and was just chucking it at different points of the wall. There are just slashes, puncture marks. The bedding is shredded. It looks like World War III went off in here. And you can hear, as you're sort of sticking your head around, you can hear the, this person wearing a guardsman's uniform is talking with Murdoch and Snowman and rattling off the current charges against Sarah. and basically the amount in gold each one of them costs, and how much that Sarah owes for this. And then you hear the captain comment that, well, assuming they can find the other individual, some of these may be forgiven or levied against the other person instead of her. And as you're there listening for a couple of moments, you end up, where did my notes go? Give me a second, I'm just scrolling through my notes here to find the actual amount.
And sorry, I was just typing.
No worries. Okay. So as they're rambling it off to you, you hear them say that it is 1,210 gold pieces. They mention, you hear the phrase multiple edicts. And then there is the potential of a 10-day imprisonment with hard labor.
Where's the 10-day of hard labor coming from?
Currently, as the captain's rambling this off and are sort of listening in, he is considering charging her with hampering justice.
I message Murdoch
Of course.
and say, outside of inn, keeping an eye out, can or should I do to help?
And while you're outside the inn, go ahead and make a perception check, because we hadn't faded your direction as of yet.
Oh no, sorry, I just was doing this while stuff was happening. Ooh, that's good, that's good. That's 18? That's not bad.
Okay. So we'll hold on to that for just a moment then.
Okay. And I found the name Aldok. Aldok doesn't have the eye. But it did. Never mind, sorry. Got confused.
Murdoch will quickly think back, which gives her time to think about what to say to the guard. Just make sure that nothing else happens with Sarah, that she doesn't slip away or something. Not that I think she could. We're working this out. Hampering justice. No. I don't... Correct me if I'm wrong. She has been apprehended, and what hampering of justice in this sense, there is an actual assailant that is still at large.
Gives a bit of... Well, that is what she said. We have not been able to find anyone. So at this point, we have a crime scene. We have one perpetrator so far, and that perpetrator fled out the window in an attempt to avoid justice.
I believe her testament was that this was to keep herself from being possibly killed. Could we possibly just double down on a disruption of the peace for the noise and the jumping out the window? We're already going to pay for the damages.
And he starts going back and forth, and then at the end of it, he'll agree to it, because that gives the city 1,500 instead of 1,200, because it's the damage to property is more expensive than the hampering justice, but doesn't come with the jail time.
Yeah. 1,500 gold pieces and...
It's 1,510.
1,510 gold pieces and a few
Plus
edicts.
damages.
Oh.
Plus damages. Alright.
So
We will
Art,
pay our due diligence to the city.
So you're listening to this as they're sort of, as he's rambling off these amounts. So What else would you be doing?
You're talking to me?
Yes.
Okay.
Because right now you're just sort of like peeking around the door and you're just hearing the tail end of this conversation.
You can hear that Murdoch is upset, which she's never fully been yet.
1,500 gold. That's a really familiar number.
1,510.
Just gonna.
I gave you
kinda
40.
Inch back out of the room and back into the room with Furia.
Mom's bad.
Well, looks pretty bad in there. I don't know what I should be doing. Why are you so calm in this situation?
Why be upset? There's nothing for us to do. The best person we have is on it, and I have confidence that they will get a result. If that's what they want, it's really up to them at this point. I don't care.
Okay. I don't know. Art's pretty. They're frazzled, but they're also frustrated at Sarah. Which I don't think is probably going to help. So we're at the inn. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
We're at the inn, and
Yeah, you guys are on the
so
second
all that
floor
stuff
in
just-
one of the rooms.
and
Yeah, we're in our room. Yeah.
Where is Sarah?
Sarah is, you haven't seen Sarah yet.
Yeah.
So you've seen Murdoch and Snow Moon, so you're not 100% sure where Sarah is.
Okay.
Last you saw, Lydia was going upstairs.
Art, we can't do anything. I think anything we do might make it worse, not better.
No, and I hate that. Okay. I suppose you're right. Just wait and see.
Okay, so with that we will...
I turn into a soft and fluffy cat and jump on Art's lap. And start purring.
Little
They're
weird.
probably they're probably just gonna like, because they're a gnome, their feet probably don't reach the floor when they're sitting down, so they're probably just gonna like kick their feet at something to just keep them occupied. But yeah, they're probably just gonna wait.
Oh, now you've got a cute and fluffy cat on your lap as well as you're just kicking at things.
Do we have a map of Waterdeep by any chance?
No, I didn't upload one into.
Okay.
I believe.
I forgot where we were. So like,
There's one that we shared in there. You guys are.
I'm sorry.
You guys are. Where is my? Sorry, I get so many things open here. Okay, you guys are down in the trade ward, off of the Way of the Dragon, in an inn called the Grey Serpent.
Okay.
Now, Lydia, as you are standing outside, so you actually notice two things. First is a few minutes after, is that you see the group bring Sarah back inside, the door closes, and you can see a little ways up the road, the other guard seems to be looking around for things. Then after, as you watch it for a few minutes, that looks up for a minute and he goes, ducks down, and literally comes back down towards you and turns down the alley just a short distance from where the inn is. On the southern side of it.
On the southern side of it, okay.
After a couple of moments, comes walking back from the front, like he literally disappears around the corner. Not even 30 seconds later, comes back with a individual, arms manacled behind his back, wearing a dark brown set of leather armor, and then stops about 3 or 4 buildings down from the inn, seems to be waiting for something. Then as he's standing there and you watch as the front door of the inn opens, and as the two of you notice that, you watch as he sort of grabs a guy and pulls back almost like into the doorway he's like resting at. Guard comes out, sort of gives a quick turn each way, and takes off heading north past you, walking with purpose. But there is a guard standing just 2 or 3 buildings down from the inn. Seems to have somebody in custody. That is just standing there waiting.
Well, I didn't have to do what I was going to do then. Good, don't know Destiny and so can I just, like, piece around the block a little, just, like, see if I recognize this guy, or?
Yeah, you can certainly try to. So,
Okay.
As you start pacing, basically from where you are, sort of pace around the block to walk back past him, go ahead. How obvious are you trying to be? Like, how obvious you being when you're looking at this person? Are you walking by like...
Ugh. Between that and nonchalant, so a medium amount.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. Because he's in the custody of a guard, so,
Yeah.
that's a 24.
Jeez.
I know.
Murdoch with insane rolls.
I know.
Yeah, so as you're looking at the individual, you do see that their armor is rather nice. You don't recognize the person themselves, but their armor is a very dark brown and seems to have an image of a winged snake on the front of it. And he's just... As the guard's holding him, it seems to be...
Okay.
He seems to be just completely indifferent to it. He's just standing there just like...
Okay. Cool.
And as you're continuing by, you going back to where you were, or you heading back into the inn?
I'll stay outside. I'll stay outside. Okay.
So you
Just
back into the first floor. As Sarah and her friends have just seen this guard take off running. And he leans down a little closer. Okay, if he's running off like that, he's going to get the Magister. You are fresh out of time. So, I'm going to lay it all on the line for you. We are representatives of the Xanathar Guild. Everything else I've told you is accurate. We are looking for ways to grow wealth and power. You can join us, and we can make sure some of these charges don't stick. It'll give you a nice little stone that you can use to contact us when you find something that you would like to sell. Contact us, we send someone to pick up the item, they give you money, and then they leave.
How do I know this isn't a setup and you're just about to tell the captain that I was trying to become part of this guild or what have you?
Sort of rubs his head a little bit. Always the hicks from out in the boonies. Never heard of us. That tattoo I showed you, there's a reason I keep it hidden under here. Because if the gods knew, then I'd be the one getting locked up. But, yeah, we'll give you some proof. And he looks and goes into his pouch and pulls out a small box. And again, it has that same circle with the 8 little lines coming off of it. Puts it out in front of you, opens it, and within it you see a stone and a platinum ring. You say yes. You put this in your bag, you hide it wherever you want to. Then I tell my friend, and he comes walking in here with the vicious assailant who is trying to kill you. You walk out of
Can
here.
I insight check?
Of course. Go and make an insight check.
What street are we on again? Sorry.
You are on
We're on one of the main streets.
the Way of the Dragon.
Runs north-south.
Okay.
26.
Or is it? From everything you can tell on this person, he seems to be on the up and up. Everything he said to you, everything he said to you seems to be honest. Now, the Sarah being Sarah would know that there has got to be some sort of benefit in this for him.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not getting any inkling that he's being deceitful to you. May not be telling you everything, but what he is telling you is on the level.
And how do I know that? How is it I can't just take all my goodies for myself and pawn this here platinum ring?
As he looks around, well then, at least in Waterdeep, these rings are known. And there's very few of us who have made our ways into the gods. Should someone see you in Waterdeep selling this and know what it is, well, assuming the regular gods are the ones who are called, you end up in there for being a member of the group. If it is a member of the guild that finds out that you are selling guild things off, then perhaps they just don't find you. But again, it pays well. And no hard labor. Wouldn't it be nice to walk out of here free lady?
Is that tattoo permanent? I just want to know if I have to also get one, or if I need to come looking for you. It's not one of those temporary or magic tattoos that sort of fade away.
No, I got mine when I rose through the rank I currently hold. You are not required to get one. The ring serves to show others your allegiance should you run into any of us out there. And the stone would allow you to send a message to us so we could send someone with a box to collect anything you wish to sell.
You know, I did run into a town where I had another pre-taxidermied animal that could have been useful for your little club as well. And you said that I could just call you up and someone will come and deliver a box and give you the items. Do you happen to go around all of Faerun, or are you just here in Waterdeep? Because if you're just here in Waterdeep, that doesn't really seem like you're branching out a lot.
Our courier can travel anywhere on this plane.
Oh,
and he can
on
be
this
there within,
plane.
And he can be there within a moment's notice.
You know, I do a little bit of interplanar travel once in a while, don't tell. So that may be a bit of an issue, especially if I run into those goats again. You know, have I told you about the goats?
As he starts to close the box and looks at you.
No, I did not say no yet.
He looks down. Lady, give me your answer. I'm done. And he holds the box towards you again.
I'm actually having trouble deciding.
And we are going to phase back upstairs to Murdoch and Snowmoon. As the captain seems to have everything all straightened out, you guys, he's settled on what the charges are to be and whatnot with, that seems like the two of you. So it seems like all that's left is the coin and the Magister, who should be here in just a few moments, so.
Can we speak with Sarah? Since we're waiting for the Magister anyway, can we be brought down?
How about this? Let us bring your friend upstairs. As I would rather not have a group of guards, but I would hate to impact this poor business any more than we already have.
Of course. Is that alright?
Very well.
Oh,
Sure.
you two will wait here for a few moments. Then individual's gonna start heading downstairs. And
can I say something real quick to Snowmoon? Murdoch would turn to you and be like, "This is a classic guard tactic. They separate us from the accused so that they could try and get something out of her while we're agreeing to the terms. I don't want to agree to anything yet until we hear what they've been saying to her."
And did, just for player knowledge, are there still like guards in the room with us, and it's just the captain who went down?
No, so it was initially the captain and the one guy who brought you up to him. Everyone else stayed to basically cluster around the felon.
Okay.
So right now, you two are alone.
Okay.
You've probably got maybe 2-3 minutes before he comes back up with Sarah.
Yes, I mean, you would probably know more about that than me, but should we like get our story straight in case they bring someone up here that they ask us to identify, or did we see this person? What do we...
I mean, there is... If I can trust Sarah with anything right now, to be honest, I can't trust her with much, but I can trust her to go along with whatever I said. Listening to your lawyer and just going with whatever they say is a point in my book. But I think we're just going to have to shell out the gold on this one.
Yes, I mean, that's... If we can get out of this with just parting with some gold, I think we should be very happy with that.
I'll have to explain the edicts to her. An edict is bad, because if you do the same thing twice, that's either much, much more gold, or exile, or jail time. It's unavoidable. It's a warning, essentially, with a gold fine attached to it. They really do build this city on the backs of criminals, so to speak.
As you two are talking,
maybe
Sarah, you can hear the footsteps coming down, and you can see this gentleman with the box in front of you is now starting to look at the stairs.
I grab the ring and slip it onto my pinky.
As he goes to close the box, he grabs the stone and shoves the stone into your hand. You'll need that to talk to us. Puts the box away. And you watch as he turns over his shoulder and nods his head. And all of a sudden, somebody opens the door. Lydia, you watch the door to the inn open. And the minute it opens, the other guard starts dragging this person forward.
I'm gonna hold up my hand and pull out the gem I stole from the vault and toss it to the guard in front of me. Is this enough to perhaps?
As he looks at it. Then real quick, just only for a second, chips in as the captain starts coming down. Just, he sort of wide eyes you, just. And then as the captain looks coming in, please bring her upstairs. And he turns, and as you watch walking in the door is the guard you sent after the assailant, who is now dragging somebody in wearing leather armor. Oh yeah, Captain, here. I got him. Oh, looks like the little old thing was right. Guy confessed to the whole thing. Apparently he was hired to kill her, and something about taking out one of her friends. Not really sure which one though, but I want to get him back here quick. And the captain's looking at that person, looking at Sarah, and then gestures to the one who had just been talking with Sarah, who sort of, not unroughly, sort of pulls you up and starts bringing you upstairs. And now the group, Snow Moon and Murdoch, you can hear a group of people coming up the stairs.
What does the guy they brought in look like? Like, does he look like
Looks to
like
be
a homeless person, or?
No, he's wearing some very nice leather armor. As you're looking at it, and again, it's a little hard as you're sort of getting jerked up and pushed up the stairs. This guy, there's a guard behind you. Then there's another guard. Then there's this individual on the guard who's dragging him up. And as they're dragging up, as you got a quick look, you could see there's some sort of pattern, like embroidered into the leather armor. It looks to be half elven, maybe, youngish, a dirty blonde, a little darker than dirty blonde, borderline like very light brown hair. Sort of pulled back into a knot and then is hanging over the front of his shoulder. That eventually is, brought, is sort of dragged up in front of the captain, comes back, and Murdoch and Stone, as the captain walks in, you see one of the guards, again, somewhat roughly bringing in Sarah, setting Sarah down on the bed. And then out in the hallway, you can see another guard who is holding a person wearing leather armor. Captain looks over at the two of you. It actually looks like she wasn't full of it. As we just found this one who confessed to coming in here to go after her and one of her friends.
Oh. Well, good work.
And so it looks like that instead of that 1,502 gold we were looking at, and we will be charging for destruction of property, because even if it wasn't all her, she was involved with it.
So half.
Of course.
So 500 gold for the cost of the fine, plus the
half the damages.
exactly.
Okay.
So I think we had settled on the damages being about 40 gold for somebody to fix up this one room, so that would be 520 gold is due to your friend here.
All right.
And then the other one now is, well, we have a whole laundry list of things to go through with that individual, but that's not really your concern, is it?
No.
No.
It was quite frightening there for a second, don't you think, Murdoch? And I'm gonna fidget with the ring.
Yeah, do I see that you have a brand new
I'm
platinum
gonna
ring?
fidget very, very, like, in a way of, like, Murdoch.
So you've seen her fidget before. You're really not used to her being like, ooh.
It's usually more of a, but now it's a.
Do I know about these platinum rings?
Go ahead and make an intelligence check. You've been to Murdoch, so you've probably heard the name.
You've been to Murdoch?
You've been to Waterdeep.
Straight
Yeah.
intelligence is 19.
Seeing the quality of the ring, you're pretty sure it's one of two. As with her fidgeting with it, all you can see is it's either a silver or platinum ring. So you know there are a couple of, somewhat shady organizations that identify themselves with rings. One being the Zentarum, one being Xanathar Guild. The way she's fidgeting with it, you're really not seeing the whole ring. You're just seeing bits and pieces as she's tweaking it around. So you're pretty sure that she's done something, but...
She smiles and she's got that like nice big set of dragonborn teeth that are all filed down to really sharp points. Can I pay you, sir? Or do I need to pay the Magister directly?
Given that it's no longer as serious as it was, we can get all the paperwork done. We'll go downstairs. We'll have see if the inn's got some parchment that we can write something up on real quick and get you on your way. And he looks over at the individual who drags her and get her loose.
I will count out 520 gold. Oh, I'll throw. Well, I was gonna say I'll throw some platinum in there, but I just have straight gold, so it will be 520 gold.
I have platinum now.
As the individual is unshackling, you're taking the manacles off you, Sarah. Leans over and as he's doing it, gives a little bit of a harder twist, almost like doing an Indian rug burn on your arm, just like a little bit of that. But
all right, no unnecessary roughness. We've got all of this sorted out.
That's my dough-kneading hand. I need that for kneading.
Let's not make this more complicated, and then I have to talk to the Magister about how she was treated.
The captain looks over and
Yes,
smacks
we
the guy
agreed to
behind
the
the
terms,
head.
and
What was that?
we agreed to the terms, and we're paying the gold that's due. It's not necessary.
Are
He goes
we
walking
free
out
to
and
go?
start. And the other group of guards all sort of gather around this one guy, and they start bringing him out. And you can hear as they're walking away, starts talking about assault and intimidation and damaging property, and they're just starting to read down a laundry list of things that they're charging this individual with.
Great.
Then eventually the captain's left with the three of you. And get some parchment, writes everything out. Basically gives it over so Murdoch, Sarah, and Snowmoon can sort of look over it. And basically it's exactly what they said, that they're charging her with damaging the property. $500 fine, half the cost of the damages, which was estimated at 40 gold, so they're charging her 20. And they are doing a edict for disturbing the peace, but not an additional fine for it.
So it's just the three of us and the captain, correct?
Yep.
Quick once-over of the captain. Does he have ring or anything like the other guard?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Can't be an investigation check. I'm better at those.
Unfortunately, not. You're not actually like patting him down looking for it.
Dang it! Spread 'em, boys. Anyway, 14.
As you're looking, you don't see a ring on his hand. But again, the gentleman you were speaking with before you saw the ring, he had to take off a bracer to show you a tattoo. So you're not seeing anything openly visible on this individual.
Captain, it is warm in here. Don't your bracers ever chafe or what have you?
He looks over at Sarah, then looks back over at Murdoch.
Are we free to go?
Understand why she needs an aid now. Yes,
Yes.
You've given me the gold. We've got this. I know you said you'd be here a day or two.
Yes.
Keep her
we
on
will
a
be-
leash.
Yes.
As if she runs around and starts making noise again, there will not be anything you or I can do to help if she breaks the edict.
I will take the heart of that comment seriously. But
Yes, I do not literally mean to leash her to something.
good.
Keep her
because
under control.
We'll
Keep
make
her
sure that-
quiet.
We'll make sure that we don't cause any more trouble for your town.
Come, Sarah. Let's find the others. And you and I need to find a new inn to stay at. Because there are no rooms here.
And as you say
Oh,
that, as he
right.
starts to walk away, he sort of looks over his shoulder, laughs, and says, do you really think they'd let her stay here again after this, even if there were rooms? Starts walking out.
Perhaps we
going-
could stay at that one with the skylight. You know, the one.
Murdoch is going to put her hand on like your back, like palm up, and it's the most gentle of touches. But is going to start walking with you in Snow Moon and find the rest of our party. And she does not look at you.
So you would know where at least two of the members are. You know where Fury and Art are in the other room. Lydia, after a few moments, you would see the group of guards walk out with that individual.
Mm-hmm.
And they turn up and start heading north. And as they get probably about 10, 15 feet, another solitary guard comes out. Goes, oh, Magister. And no, I gotta wait here. Send them to bring the Magister. I'm just gonna wait here for him. You guys go ahead. And that other group starts meandering up towards where you are. Walks past you. And go ahead and make a perception check.
Not bad. Dirty 20.
Oh, okay. So, a few minutes after they walk past you, you watch as they duck down in between two. I don't even want to call this an alley. It's more like barely a walking space as they start to sort of funnel into this walking space. One after another after another. And
Can I
you-
safely assume it's like shady that they're going in one at a time and no one's coming out the other
Oh, yeah,
side kind of thing? Okay.
It's literally it's like there are two buildings, and they're just walking up, and then they're turning in and walking down. And what? It's a group of guards and somebody who looks like they're a prisoner.
Yeah.
It's just a guard goes in, a guard goes in, the prisoner turns and walks in, a guard walks
Yeah.
in.
Super shady. Okay. Mental note of that.
Okay. And still just hanging out outside.
No, I'll go in if I see all the guards leave.
Yeah. So you eventually head in. You walk by. The captain is just sort of leaning up on the outside of the building. He's never seen you before, so doesn't really
Right.
even give you a second look. You head into the inn, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, brings us back to Murdoch, Sarah, and Snowmoon as they are heading into the other room. Whether Sarah wants to or not. At least it appears.
Okay. Just
Murdoch,
wanted to
I
get
have
that.
some very important information for you when we are finally within the room. And so
Opens the door. Steps in. Lets you two come in. Hello.
You see a gnome and a cat.
Artemis, did you get a cat?
Yes and no. This is fair.
I stand up and like stretch, just very slowly.
I wish I could be a cat right now. Everything has been cleared up.
And at this point,
Legally
Lydia would
speaking.
probably be upstairs and be catching up with everyone as well as you guys are coming in.
Okay. Enter the door.
yeah.
I can flip you a quick message if you need to.
I'm gonna steer clear of Granny because I still think she's gonna stab me or poison me. So I'm gonna like try to squeeze against the other wall and kind of inch my way through.
Oh no, the glasses are off.
Sarah. Oh yeah. Murdoch takes off her glasses that she's looking at you with the solid red eyes. Sarah.
Yes.
Explain yourself.
Well, you see, I was born on a farm manor back in.
Starting with today.
Well, we came to Waterdeep in our carriage, all 6 of us, and we were here. We went to the library. Information was found. Information was not given by the librarian. Lydia then casted a spell on me. I still have words to have with you. I came back here, was rather upset, but an assailant came into my room trying to do me harm. So I ran. The gods then captured me and brought me back here. And while you were upstairs, I had a conversation with another god who was part of a club who wanted some items. So I joined them in order for the charges to be slashed in half.
Insight check, all of that. Because I don't
my
trust her
my
as far
cat
as
hair
I
is
can,
all like puffed up and
as far as
standing
I can
on
throw
end.
her at this point.
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I see into your soul right now.
You have a very good
23.
memory, Sarah.
She seems to be telling you the truth.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
You have a very good memory, Sarah.
I
So,
do.
I'm kind of interested why you did not seem to remember the fact when we were coming to the city and I said that there is a very strict code legal and that we needed to be on our best behavior for art's sake. Because we are here for art. Show me that ring. If I get a closer look at it.
Now
I'm like
you
actually scared right now.
Yeah, now you're pretty sure which nefarious organization she has agreed to assist. As there is no flying snake on this ring.
Alright, Sarah, so I'm going to tell you this. So you had probably a 50-50 chance that you were either offered a boon from a group of thieves, liars, and murderers, or thieves, liars, and murderers for an absolute psychopath. Thankfully, in my opinion, you took the better of the two. But they are still thieves, liars, and murderers. And now you owe them one.
Well, I did already pay back partially.
Oh, you want to talk about paying back? I was almost going to have to pay. Murdoch looks at everyone. Over 1,500 gold for all of the things that have just occurred within our first 3 hours of being in the city.
Dear.
Thankfully, it's gone down to 520 thanks to your new friends. But I will reiterate once more. We are here for Artemis's benefit. So that we can get to Silvery Moon. So that we can help their mother. But it's fine. Because I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix you. I encourage the rest of our party to relax and see if we can find admittance to a teleportation circle to Silvery Moon within the next few days. And Sarah and I are going to find a new inn to stay at. And we are going to have a talk. Is everyone okay with that?
Do you need accompaniment to the new inn? I don't want you to ladies in your be walking the streets alone. You think you'll be okay?
Anyone can come with us
Sovereign?
if they want to. If Snow Moon would like to come with Sarah and I, if you would like to come with Sarah and I, that's fine.
If
But I know
Snow
that-
would like to come with her.
Yes, I was going to see if that would be all right if I joined as well.
Maybe I'll stay here then, just so we have a split party, you know. Always love them, cause that's...
We're on the way of the dragon. There's multiple inns just on this street alone. We shouldn't be too far away, but we have a job to do here.
Alright.
So let's get it done. And I'm sure, though Furia is still a cat, that she agrees wholeheartedly with what I'm saying.
The cat sneezes.
Speaking of which, Furia, can I have some of those magic berries anymore? Like make every morning, I mean, kinda don't want the munchies anymore.
Oh.
The poison me still.
About this time, in this room, which is already a little cramped with all of you in here, a rather small, somewhat transparent creature just appears in the middle of the room,
Cool.
I didn't do that.
holding a chest, looking at you, Sarah.
I might have done this.
As you're looking at it, in your mind, you instinctively know that there's coin in this chest. You're not sure how you know,
Oh,
but you just know.
I pop open the chest.
There is 362 gold in it.
Oh, well, that's lovely. Here you go, Murdoch.
You're handing me the chest of 362 gold?
I thought it was like a sack, so
Well,
I would hand you.
Yeah, it's basically as you open it, there's coin in it.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can take the coin out and give it to Murdoch if you wanted to, but it's...
I'm not accepting this.
But to
No.
repay you for that.
Who sent this? Do you know?
Yes, the people who gave me the ring.
Then no! Because that is the money of liars, thieves, and murderers! We're not doing. I am a lawyer! I cannot do this!
Okay, Murdoch. Okay, tempers are running high now, I know. Maybe we
Murdoch's
can-
What if I
perfectly in line, personally.
What if I put it in a pouch, then shake it up a bit, and then hand the gold to you? That way you don't know which ones came from my murderers, liars, and thieves.
Snow Moon is the single person that is keeping me from having my head explode currently.
Alright,
I
maybe
would
we
never
should
want
start.
to anger him.
Maybe we
You shovel the gold in.
We need to let Maddie talk sometimes.
Maybe we should start heading out now and look for another inn. And try and clear our heads.
We all go together to look for another inn, or
Why don't we let's all just go for a little walk.
yes, let's all go look for another
and
inn.
then-
Why don't
and
we
then
stay
back to
together?
business.
Well, you four can still stay at this inn.
Let's all stick together.
Yes, let's.
Thank you for the heads up, chat. I just noticed that. Apparently,
Were we
Streamlabs
muted?
froze. No, you're not muted. Everybody froze
We-
again.
Oh, spooky.
Let's-
Ooh.
I, as a cat, will wander over to Lydia and attempt to climb up her leg.
Ow, ow, ow.
Yeah, after she claws at me a little, I will go to. Is this what you want? And I'll just put her up on my shoulder.
Yeah, sort of butt up against your head, and that works.
Nice,
Let's
nice.
let's all
Fine.
quickly go resecure another room and then get back
Yes.
to you to saving Artemis's mother.
Yes,
Okay.
true story.
In my defense, I didn't know it was guards that were banging on the door.
They said that it was the guard.
Did they actually say it was the guard?
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they did.
That when you
My
heard guards,
hearing's
that's when you
very
jumped out the
bad.
window.
Oh. My hearing's very bad, Murdoch. You know how it is sometimes.
We're gonna fix it.
What does that mean?
It means I solve problems.
That's what we hired her for. Help solve our problems. So, good, good. You're here, Murdoch. Go, buddy. Oh, pal.
She's
I'm
all
in
smiles.
danger.
She's
Yeah,
all
I'm-
smiles.
I'm just gonna gently nudge her with my fist, be like, "Yes, Murdoch. Oh, I forgot her. Yeah, it's. We're friends.
Don't touch
I'm
me.
glad.
Okay.
Okay, so are you guys heading north or south in your search for another inn?
I don't go a little.
Let's.
Is there
Not
just
a
like
whole
one?
lot-
Is there one like
You
right
know
within
What
eye?
is it, Murdoch? Any suggestions? Any ideas?
Not right in the immediate area now.
Oh, that's right, because the Thirsty Throat isn't an inn, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got let's see.
We're on the strip.
Easier to find a room if you were on the strip. There actually, Murdoch, you being here before, you would know if you head north up to High Road, and then take a right onto High Road. There's the Gentle Rest.
The Gentle Rest. I do like the Gentle Rest, and that's something that we all deserve. So, yes, I will take us northward and see if we can get a room.
Can we stay at the Unicorn's Horn? That sounds magical.
The Unicorn's Horn is.
Is that too high? Got a little confused.
No, I mean it's fine.
Okay, we'll go to the fancy place.
It's just a little garish for me.
Okay.
It's called the Unicorn's Horn.
You guys make your way. It's easy enough to get there. It's still, again, it's getting to be a little later in the day, but not that late. As you guys eventually find yourself standing in front of the Gentle Rest. As you start heading in, first thing you guys notice is this is a, not hugely, but it is a slightly more, looks to be a slightly higher level of establishment. You see looks to be a rather round human male behind there. First thing you notice beyond this round, smiling gentleman is the beautiful, smooth wooden floors and smooth walls. Looks like this individual takes pride in their establishment as you come walking in. Welcome to the Gentle Rest. Can I help you today? You need a nice glass of wine, some mug of ale. Perhaps you're looking for a room for the evening. Or perhaps all three.
All three,
All
probably.
three.
But do you have a room where we could all like sit in together and converse for a little while? I think we need to have a talking. Like an off room to the side that could accommodate us all.
We
A
do have
conference
some.
room.
Not quite sure what the conference is, but we do have some small dining areas that we typically reserve for parties. But I'm sure if you're, for say, 2 gold pieces, we could make sure that you guys are kept private in there.
I'll slip him the 2 gold pieces. Just point us in the right direction.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, the point. And he comes waddling out a little bit.
I love
And
the Gentle
you
Rest.
see his stomach sort of leading the way around the counter as he comes down. Starts leading you in past the bar and kitchen area, and there's not a whole lot of people in here yet. It's not quite dinner time. But he leads you down to the far end, and then comes over, unlocks the door, pulls the 2 doors out. Then you see there is a oval table with looks to have 10 seats set around it. Oh,
Right.
there you go. If you have need of anything, just reach up, pull that little cord there by the door. Some of the staff will come in and take any orders or anything you may need.
Wonderful.
Kinda.
As he sort of gestures as all of you go in, he proceeds to then close the doors behind you.
I'm going to take a seat, and I'm going to mutter about how I need some ale soon, as I rub my temples.
Do you pull the cord to alert the waitstaff?
No, just soon. Soon.
I'll jump onto the table off of Lydia's shoulder.
As the group of you are starting to gather, before this goes down, I'm going to say this is probably our best spot to take the break for the evening.
Oh,
Something
okay.
Something tells me that when this gets going, it's going to get going.
Okay.
I'm scared.
So don't go anywhere, folks. And thank you very much for our chat. And we have a proficiency bonus for Lydia coming from chat.
Ooh, thank you, Chet.
So we will be back in just a few moments to find out what exactly Murdoch has to say about...
What everyone has to say.
This is true. But Murdoch has been riding Sarah a little hard this evening, especially after finding out that Sarah has signed on with a...
Yeah.
with Xanathar's guild. So... it'll be
I have a
interesting.
pretty ring now.
So we'll be back in just a few moments, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Yippee.
As Sarah guesses she will die.
That
We
would
are
be too
back.
simple.
Fun!
At the Gentle Rest. Our party has just been shown into a somewhat private sort of, I guess we'll call it a party or a event room within the inn. The doors have been closed. Some of our party has started sitting at various seats around the table. One of them is currently sort of laying on the table. But let us not judge the cat. And so the story is told, folks. Turn it over to you.
I've not been with this group long. But when I was told that I was going to be assigned to help you all, it was because you were sort of getting into a lot of trouble. You had a lot of problems. Do you remember our first meeting? I was with Delvin, and you had just created a kerfuffle in a temple, all that good things. Since then, I've noticed a pattern. And unfortunately, it is sort of all revolving around you, Sarah. Now, I fully believe that everyone has their reasons for doing things, but it has been brought to my attention from several people in the group that there's distrust and there's possibly concern about whether your behavior is acting within the party's interests. And I can't rule out the fact that you did almost kill most of us within your own home. Sorry, I'm still working on that one. Our own base of operations. That's very serious. But I don't want to speak for everybody. So if there's someone that has something to say, I would like them to speak it.
Granny, I have no doubt that your overall intentions are good and to help us, but sometimes I feel like can't trust you exactly to not kill us or get us into trouble or kill someone else or, you know, just yell angrily at people. So, I hope we can remedy this in a very polite fashion without any bloodshed by me. Cause you're gonna cut me. So, don't cut me. I'm sorry about the thing in the library.
Cat looks around, wanders over to a chair, jumps down on it, and I turn back into myself. Well, Sarah, when we first met in an inn back on that island, I really don't know why you joined the party. You just sort of decided to come along. It was cool. It was fun. We went exploring. We saw things. But ever since you joined, I've noticed you don't like to take acceptance for your actions. It's always somebody else's fault. Lydia put the spell on you, even though it was you who were yelling at the librarian for no reason. Other examples, you know, when you nearly killed us all, breaking that silver string. You were merely trying to disarm a trap. You didn't say that you were curious or, sorry, apologetic. And I think that's the biggest thing that I have a problem with. Maybe start saying that you were wrong next time. I think that would go a long way.
Yeah, I'm mostly just upset about the whole almost dying thing, and uh, j- getting into quite a bit of trouble in a city that is notorious for taking said trouble pretty seriously. Within the first few hours of being here is. I'm just having trouble trusting someone that does that with pretty reckless abandon. I'm not perfect, but yeah.
We need to work as a group and take into consideration what each of us has gone through. Just because one person thinks that, they've done such things special, doesn't mean another person hasn't done something equally as special, either, previously or 10 minutes ago. And so we need to start working like each person in this group has something to offer, and each person in this group has something unique that they can give. Sarah, you're really good at picking locks. And Snowmoon, you're really good at dying. I mean, I know you do that in defense of us, but I mean, it just happens so often. It's humorous.
Thank you.
I'm really good at turning into animals. And so saying you deserve something, Sarah, just because you think you've done something special just once, isn't really going to cut it.
Well, I know that Sarah has caused chaos for our group, and I don't mean to dismiss any of you or how you feel, but I do trust Sarah as a member of our group, of our party, and I would fight for any of you in our party. And yes, I guess that's all I have to say for now.
I think it's very noble of you. And I don't think that it's misplaced trust. You seem like you two are very close. That is something else that I observed. What I want to make sure is that everyone can trust each other, so that it's a cohesive team. So, Sarah, I want to ensure that that's going to happen. And she takes out a quill. With a contract. I want to pass this around, and I want everyone to just sort of think about what this party stands for and how their trust is earned and kept. And Sarah, I want you to agree to this contract with being able to look over it, of course. But that way everyone is on the same page. Is that agreeable? Can we try that? You are muted. Goodbye.
Furia has
What?
stolen her voice.
When did you write this?
I've been working on it. There's certain obvious things in here, like don't kill members of the party, don't steal from them, don't poison. them.
Question. Are we allowed to knock each other out if, say, one of us gets possessed by a ghost?
A possession
Yes,
clause is included in most of my contracts, as per
All
standard.
right, good.
As well as being charmed or magically dominated, or if a doppelganger takes on your identity, or if a fae switches you, or it's extensive.
Good to know. Good to know.
Is there anything that someone wants to make sure is in the contract?
How much is in there about sharing information? Say, Art got joined into the Harpers. Is there something about needing to share that sort of thing, or is it more of a when advisable?
I have something in here that withholding information that would prove detrimental to the party's safety is detrimental to the party and therefore should not be allowed. But that there is discretion involved and that information will be shared when it is safe to do so.
All right. Is this Scout's honor? Or are there repercussions if something is not followed?
I stand up and I'm bringing the contract over to Sarah. And I put the quill down and I stand behind your chair.
Roll for initiative.
Sarah, if you agree to this, I want it to be binding to all of us here, and I have a spell to make it do so. And the repercussions for breaching the contract. I call it my misfortune clause. Things will just prove to become more and more unfortunate the more that you go against the contract and therefore the party's wishes. You can call it a jinx, or a hex, or bad luck, or a curse. It will never kill you, but it will become very apparent if someone is acting against the contract. And I think that everyone should be behooven to it, not just you. Read it over, and I want to know what you think. Because if you don't agree, then perhaps that's a larger conversation that needs to be had right now.
Can we close your eyes and count to 10 to that before you yell at people? A lot of yelling going on.
I reach around and I grab the quill and I...
Thank you. Don't really like the yelling. Thanks.
I do apologize about that, Lydia. There were things outside of your control that I was upset about. And I also was upset about the magic being put on me. However, in retrospect, that is a very good spell. We should use that more often, especially if we ever need to just take a day. Maybe after we save Artemis's mother.
Lydia actually does use that one quite often. It's come in very handy.
You know, that makes a lot more sense now. I thought you just had a welcome personality.
Nope, not at all.
And there are things in here, Sarah, that are good for everyone. It's agreeing to work with the party means that the party is going to work with you. We're going to keep you safe. We're going to keep you out of jail. And hopefully make you happy. And help you with whatever it is that you want when that becomes apparent.
Could we if it's not already in there, I'm still reading a little bit. The penmanship's a bit for me. Could we add a clause that were one of the party to die before finishing whatever it is they're part of this group to do, the rest of the party will do whatever in their power they can to finish that quest or rectify it or what have you.
I look out at the party.
It sounds good, but we need to know exactly what is going on in order to do so.
One thing is very much easier than another. Say, Furia's biggest wish is to see the tallest tree in Faerun. Well, we can definitely do that, but harder to fight a demon god.
But it's not really a demon god. Well, it might be. I'm not really that sure. That's why I went
Say
to the
no
lab.
to the claws. Write that in there if you're not sure if it's a demon lord or not.
Well, I'm not sure that that's what I went to the library for, but then the librarian didn't have the information yet.
How about... Also, someone is echoing.
I
How
think it's-
about someone... How about we get Artemis's mother back? And then the next time we are at the house, we will sit down and we will all say what we want from this group. And that will be what we are bound to accomplish in the hopefully preventable event of one of our deaths.
A
Okay?
list of sorts?
A list, yes. Goals. Because it seems that perhaps maybe you've all sort of been going about, and I'm sure that you all have reasons for traveling with each other. I mean, safety and numbers and all. But have you ever actually told any of you each other what you want?
Well, recently, actually, yes, but that wasn't because I necessarily chose to. It's because we found that ring in the box.
Kind of a little, sort of, but
I mean, it was previously just to learn more about the ocean, but now my mother is sort of a pertinent element that bigger than the ocean thing.
that's very.
Yes, I think this needs a whole other conversation to decide and write down what's going on here.
I will show you that I'm committed. And I will sign the bottom of the contract. And I put the quill back on the table.
I'll sign my
Put on-
name. Sorry.
I put on a pair of bifocals. Let me just finish this. I'm already wearing glasses.
As Sarah takes out a second pair of
Second
glasses to put
pair.
over the glasses.
You know, like how jewelers have like the like multiple. I sign my name. All jokes aside.
But how thoroughly do you read it?
How long is it actually? Because like she might be the last to sign it if it's.
I would say it's a couple pages.
Okay, then she's still reading it.
Then there is a clause
Mm-hmm.
that says upon signing the contract, I'm going to cast a spell on you that you give permission for to bind you to the contract. You specifically. But she
Just-
doesn't try to hide that.
Just Sarah, or like you, as in like all of us, you.
It says Sarah, specifically because you've been the person that caused the contract to exist.
What's this part?
That is assurance that you are not going to sign this and then just start not following it.
But what's the spell? Is it one of those ones where my limbs might fall off, or
I thought Murdoch already explained what it was, the effect of this contract.
Well, that's just I'm more asking like to go more in detail. You just said that you would know when it's a consequence or a curse, and well, there's many different types of curses.
What are you thinking of breaking the contract?
My
No,
Why are you so curious? Yes,
she
good
is
point.
she's allowed to ask. It is my inconvenience curse.
I don't know
Your
magic.
your buttons will be loose and come off of your clothes. Your shoelaces will be untied. You will step in dog
I don't wear
refuse.
shoes. I don't know
Your
if you know.
food will spoil.
Oh, that is a bad one.
You will
The
get
DM
gunk
hasn't been
under
paying
your
attention to that.
fingernails. You will get gunk under your fingernails that you will not be able to get out. Your glasses will fog up. And these things will compound and get worse the more that you breach the contract until it becomes very apparent what you are doing.
So no loss of limbs?
No. I don't hurt people. But I do make it very hard to live.
Okay. She's gonna keep reading. Is there any other clause that she should notice? Any other, what I'll call the Sarah clause? Starring Tim Allen.
Lying about breaching the contract is a breach of contract.
Ooh, the old double.
So the more that you try to say you didn't do it, the worse the curse will be.
Okay. Anything else? Fine print.
Make a
It
perception
is-
check.
Okay, yeah, there we
Okay.
go. That's
Where'd my D20 go? God damn it, Cass.
Sarah's really trying to get in this thing. Let's see if she sees anything else.
I got my bifocals with bifocals. I need another D20. The cat stole it. Ooh. Dirty 20.
Not
Thank
a
you,
bad-
mother-in-law.
Anything else you would have caught in there?
the party will be reimbursed for anything that has been stolen or lied about. The party will be reimbursed for any fees paid to keep you out of jail. Unless stated otherwise, the laws of the area that the party is currently inhabiting in are the laws that the party is following. And so doing things like breaking Waterdeep's code legal would also be a breach of this contract, unless the party all agrees that we don't like that law in Waterdeep.
Okay, just to circle back for a second because my troll went off when you were talking. Not the code legal. Can you just repeat the first two you were saying?
Anything
Reimbursed
that you've
for anything
stolen.
From the party or just in general?
From the party, if you've taken anything from us.
Okay, no, I haven't stolen from you guys.
And then reimbursement for any legal fees to keep you out of jail, like fines paid.
Like,
Okay,
520 gold?
Murdoch, I tried to do this one, but you wouldn't take my 300 gold.
I don't believe it was your 300 gold to give.
Well, it was, but
Was it?
Well, it was given to me, so it became my property in my purse, and I do need to pay you back.
It was being offered to you.
Joining Xanathar's guild gives you money?
No,
Sign-on bonus. if you were under a zone of truth spell and I said that that was your money, would you be lying?
Can I do that today?
I got zone of truth prepared.
Okay. I don't have.
I
a
would-
chance to.
I would not, because again, it was being offered to me. However, if the money, how it became part of me and my belongings, that would then make it a no.
Well, how about this? I will waive the fees that I just paid today, but in the future, they are paid back, and I will do that as a sign of goodwill. But you have to sign the contract.
Of course.
As the quill is held out to Sarah.
Oh, I was reaching for my pen.
There we go. Here you go.
Thank you. It changed colors.
Magic quill.
Yeah. Oh, it fit. Nice grip. I love when they have the little cushion and I'm stalling and
As there's like 3
And
more
I-
quills appear.
Sarah, so that we can get back to what's important.
yes. And I'm gonna sign in the corner.
Okay. So you've got Murdoch, Lydia, and Sarah have signed. Leaves Furia, Art, and Snowmoon.
I'm looking over at Snowmoon, waiting for him to sign.
I will take the contract from Sarah, and I'll take a few minutes to read it as well, just to make sure.
Don't worry about that
Yes.
one or that one. It's only focused on me.
Like,
Anyone can append the contract if the entire party agrees to the amendment.
okay.
Oh, could we make one more amendment? So long as I promise to, without your consent, put things in your food, I will only do, say, a health potion, a water breathing, a cake
No.
of levitation. If there's no potion, would you eat again?
Probably not, but I think that's my personal choice. I'm not going to force that on the party. But adding something to my food without my knowledge is out of the question.
Well, that's why I said without your consent. If you gave consent, then I would put it in.
Trust has to be earned back.
Of course.
So I'll finish up reading the contract, and I usually perform my duties with trust solely out of honor, but if the contract is what everyone wants, I will sign it as well.
Well, now you have double honor.
And I will sign the contract.
These are honorable to me. Artemis? Furia?
Okay.
You don't... I'm asking if you want to.
I do. Paperwork is just stressful.
Hmm.
But you read all the time.
That's true.
Hmm.
I didn't say I was without stress when I was doing that.
True.
They'll kind of flip through and read through and they'll make their very long signature.
Okay.
Art, where am I supposed to sign? You took up all the space.
That's why I went in the corner.
I signed
No,
a little
I'll
big.
do the same thing. I'll read it through, and then I'll sign as well.
Then let this contract for this party be binding. And then Murdoch is going to say a bunch of crap in Infernal and place her hand on Sarah, and I'm going to cast Bestow Curse on her.
I knew it was coming. Yeah, that's me.
And I would like it to be a custom curse that is slightly inconvenient, getting more inconvenient things happen to Sarah if she breaches the contract and continues to breach the contract.
You mean basically bad luck?
Yes.
Yeah, bad luck.
Minor
without it
bad
being-
luck.
Yeah, it's minor bad luck. So it's you go to button your shirt and the button pops off.
That already happened.
Now, mind you, as it goes on, if you keep breaching it, it may be, oh look, it's a wooden chair, 13 splinters all in your hand. You know, it's.
It will
Even
never
minor
be
bad luck
something that like hurts you.
Yeah.
But it will make your life very inconvenient.
I don't know
Thank
if
you.
you want the rogue's hands to be hurt.
That's completely up to Sarah.
Yeah.
I know this can seem like it was a bit forced, and I'm sorry, but I've found that when everyone just agrees to a piece of paper, it not only facilitates communication, but it facilitates teamwork. And I think that there's a lot of things that we can do together. I just want us to all be on the same side. And I am going to make sure that you stay out of jail, and that you don't get possessed, and that you don't get killed by devils and demons. And that is what I am going to do. I said it, and I'm going to do it.
Possessed again.
Yeah, it wasn't pleasant the first time.
I am
And-
sorry for having to stab you.
I completely understand, actually. I don't think we would have gotten out of that one otherwise. But checking for traps for that not to happen was, maybe next time.
The minutia will be worked out in the coming days. Let's get back to helping Artemis get their mother back. I think that's something we can all agree on.
Maybe that's more of a start again tomorrow job. I think it's supper time.
I think I'm good with supper and wine for the rest of today. I can agree.
Me too.
Murdoch, as you say that, all of a sudden in the back of your mind, you get a twinge as you hear, "Hey there, love. Just finished having wine with some members of our little club. Wish you were here. Kisses."
Merida?
Just finished signing a contract with super cool extraplanar adventurers. Wish you were here. Kisses. I'm going to go get that wine now.
XOXO, gossip girl.
As Murdoch starts to walk out of the room, Artemis, you actually receive a message as well. As
Oh heck.
the voice you hear actually is the gentleman who inducted you into the Harpers just a few hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
And says, "Oh, meant to advise, teleportation circle City of Dead.
Oh!
Find
I
Myrna. See Thestral. And that's it.
To everybody else around them, they just are just taking on a notebook quickly from their pack, and they're just like scribbling, and then I'm assuming that Murdoch like got up and went to go fetch wine, and they are following right after.
Yeah, for some reason Murdoch didn't pull the little bell to call the server, and they just left the room.
Yeah.
She fully did. She fully just left the room.
There's actually a cart of
there
wine
was-
right by the table.
She said a whole bunch of stuff in Infernal. There was like green smoke that swirled around her hand. She touched your shoulder and it like seeped into you, and then she went, I need to go.
That seems perfectly above board, and nothing is weird about that.
So Artemis is following suit as well. And that leaves Lydia, Furia, Sarah, and Snowmoon in the room.
I'll go find a bathhouse by myself. I need a couple hours to unwind. I don't know where one is, but I'm gonna find one.
There may
Alrighty
be
then.
one within the hotel. It is.
Well, you could probably take a bath, get a room here and take a bath.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll be like, put my do not disturb thing out, and just fill the bathtub with water. It's just-
Easy enough. You go get a room, pay for a room here for a night. Go up. It's a little
My
nicer. This place has, go up, nice bathtub. You have them. They come in running buckets of water. By the time they get in there, it's only sort of warm by the time they're done making the multiple trips to get it there. But
better than nothing. Better than the unicorn's horn. Probably better.
Snowmoon, Sarah, Furia. It's now the three of you are left in the room as Lydia has wandered off. One up got herself a room at this inn after paying for a room at the other inn.
Well, if people are heading up to the rooms, I'll probably wander back to the other inn. And
Okay.
yep.
So as you start to leave, you do see both Murdoch and Art are up at the bar getting drinks.
Yeah, I'm just tired. It's been a day. So I'm just gonna call it an early night.
Okay, that leaves us Snowmoon and Sarah then.
Sarah, are you okay? What at the library? What was that? What happened?
Oh, look, a dinner service. And I'm gonna pull the cord.
Okay, you don't have to talk about it now if you don't want. It just seemed like it got a little out of control back there.
Let's focus on Artemis right now. I think I've taken the limelight enough for today.
Understood.
Well, I'm not cooking tonight, so pull away on how much you want to order.
So as Sarah has already sort of pulled on the dinner bell once, a couple of moments later, a young woman comes walking in. And as she comes walking into the room with a little tray, you hear, she seems to stumble on something, and the tray goes right into the back of Sarah's head. And you hear, oh, I'm so sorry, but
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
what can I get for you?
Snow Moon, you go first.
Oh, sure. I'll just have. Uh, I don't know what you're offering. I guess just a plate of meats, perhaps, or fish.
Perfect. We can do either.
I'll take the fish, I suppose, and maybe a cup of tea with that.
Okay. Do you prefer green or black?
I'll take green.
Okay. Sugar, honey, lemon, or nothing?
Nothing.
And for you, miss?
Tea for me as well.
Green or black?
Honey, green with
And honey.
honey lemon. Yes.
Perfect.
And a shepherd's pie if you make those here.
I'm certain the cook can come up with something for you. And goes and walks back out of the room. A little while goes by, eventually comes back over with the meal for you.
Mm-hmm.
Sets the tea down in front of both of you. And next to yours are a small bowl of, looks like wedges of fruit beside it. And sets down some sort of pie. And then Snowman Freyu sits down. Looks like a trout, maybe, or it's like a slightly hardier whitefish that they set down in front of you. With looks like some steamed long stem mushrooms with the little tiny caps on them. There you go. I hope you both enjoy. Gives a little nod and walks out again.
Take a sip of the tea and
Give it
start
a
to cut up the fish a little bit. Take a few bites.
That seems pretty good.
Gonna start tucking in. Is it
Okay.
good?
It's sort of strange. It's not what you would necessarily think of as shepherd's pie. It sort of is, but sort of isn't. Think of it like a hand pie with basically, if you were to make mashed potatoes and forget to mash them. So you've boiled the potatoes, you've cut the potatoes up to cubes, you've boiled them. They stuck them in the pie with the meat and the gravy and everything else. So it's cooked potatoes, but it's cooked pieces of potato rather than mashed potatoes.
Okay.
It's not bad, but it's not really what you were looking for either.
I think I'm starting to understand the contract now.
Yes. About the contract. I have to. I wasn't completely comfortable with the whole idea, but it seemed like what the rest of the party wanted, and it seemed what was best for the entire group. So I didn't entirely want to sign it, but I thought that was the best decision for all of us.
Agreed.
Guess I'll just continue eating and
About the library, Snow Moon.
yes.
What do you know about the term fate touched?
I'm not really familiar with it at all. What is it?
Well, I was going to more ask you, mostly because I don't really know. I just keep being told the term, and I more want to know if there's anything like that in draconic culture terms.
Nothing that I'm aware of. I and that's what you were looking for in the library, like writing on it and
Yes.
it's what's so urgent about it that it just spiraled the way it did.
It has to do with my husband. And
Oh, yes. Sorry, go ahead.
that's all I'm comfortable with discussing right now. So let's enjoy fine dining and tea and breathing.
Okay. Yes, I know you've mentioned Albert before and your marriage and your honeymoon. I just
Oh, what a honeymoon it was.
what what is that? What's that like? I don't really know what that's like.
A honeymoon? Well, it's what you do
Or
after the
the
wedding. And
or the wedding or being married. I don't really know what that's like.
well, it's like being with your best friend for your entire life, waking up happy to see them and regretting the day you wake up and they're gone. It's it's tea on a Sunday morning. It's warm hand touches by the fire. It's knowing he liked 2 sugars instead of 1. Snowmoon, have you ever been in love?
Um, no, I haven't.
Good. It hurts the most when you lose them because you know it hurts because you were.
It sounds good and bad.
It is.
Yes, it sounds like there's pain involved, but there's also good moments involved, like you were just mentioning.
I'm here because someone took the good from me. And that's why I'm here. If I know we're not back at the house, but that's why I'm here. Someone took the good. Someone took him from me. And I just want to know why. And I don't know if it's for revenge, maybe a little. I don't know if Murdoch's new deal will let me have that, but I just want to know why.
Well, hopefully there's something I can do or the rest of us can do to try and help you with that.
Thank you. But like I said, right now, it's about Artemis. Their mother's
Right.
still alive.
Yes, agreed. That is very important.
And if I can stop what happened to Albert from happening to their mother, that will be enough. And I know my actions don't show that, and I know everybody says, and it's true, I'm a bit selfish at this in the past day or so, but Murdoch is right. As always, lawyers are like that.
Well, it seems like you've been carrying a lot, and so I understand why.
Your trout's getting cold, you better eat.
Ah, yes, it is. And I'll turn back to my dish and continue to eat again.
As the two of you continue to eat and drink, Sarah, eventually you take your little bit of fruit and put it in your tea and take a sip of your tea, only to realize they didn't give you honey and lemon, they gave you honey melon. And the flavor is just not quite what you were anticipating at all. But where you chose a green tea, the citrus of the honey melon really isn't a bad taste. Just really wasn't the sweetness you were looking for.
No, it wasn't. I'm gonna fish the honey melon out of my tea and start eating it.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Although the first bite's a little strange because now it's soaked up some of the tea, but the other pieces they served in a little sauce next to it.
Yeah.
And it's very fresh.
Some honey.
But eventually the group of you split and splinter. Some of you with a little difficulty perhaps getting back to your rooms after beverages or food, or some of you pass out soaking in the tub. Eventually, morning comes. But before it does, I need to know from Artemis and Snowmoon, would you have gone back to the other inn where you had rooms, or would you have gotten rooms at this new location?
I would have gotten a room at the new location.
Oh, okay.
Being the anxious mess they are, probably would have either they probably would have doubled back and just checked up and to see that we're good to bounce. Did we pay for everything?
Your books.
Yeah, so as you get back to the
Yeah,
other inn,
that stuff.
as you head back in, you find Furia already asleep in the room, as you two were sharing a room. As Furia came right back, and you were at the bar with Murdoch for a little bit, getting yourselves a couple of drinks. But yeah, eventually the innkeeper doesn't seem to pay any mind to the two of you, as neither one of you were involved in the room that had the problem. Yeah, the evening comes and goes. Is there anything anyone would want to be doing overnight?
Actually, some point during the evening, probably before Art got back, would there be enough room to open up the portable hole? Maybe if I move some stuff around in the room.
Yeah, you'd have to move a little bit of the furniture around, but yeah, you could do it.
Yeah, I'd like to open it up and actually take stock of what's actually in there, because I know it was a bunch of leftover gold and one item from the hoard, but I don't think we ever counted what was in there.
I think we took inventory because the captain had to shovel stuff out, or not the captain, Bobbio.
Yeah, but
Right, but we weren't sure how much was in the hole to begin with. We just filled it and gave it to the captain.
Yeah, and then
So, I mean,
with that, you guys had what was left over afterwards too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Okay, so that
Yeah, it just
I will say I will
appeared.
have to go digging for that. So we will take that
All right.
offline for next.
Well,
for
if
the
there's
next session, but
if it's
yeah.
if it's reasonable to count it in the time that I would have before, it's really too late. Although technically I don't have to sleep a whole night. So
Yeah.
if it's a reasonable amount, I would count it. If not, I would just say, I'll do it later,
Alright, so
depending on what
because
that
I'm
number
not
is.
because I'm not sure. You know, this Art. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Well, oh, okay.
So you open the door and fall into a hole.
9?
How much were you drinking? We talking you got like a glass of wine, or did you, are you lit?
No, probably just like a couple glasses of wine. Nothing ridiculous.
Yeah,
Is this like
you're okay.
camping drunk?
No.
So, Art, you go to step in, and as you walk in, it's and then you start to worry that maybe you had more to drink than you thought you did, because you could swear there's a giant black hole in the middle of your room.
So, as I fell into it, or
No, just like you caught yourself right in front of them.
almost? Okay.
You have that mini panic attack, because literally it's before you even notice there's gold, and there's a druid sitting among the gold. That initial thing when the wine fogged mind is, oh my god, the room, that black empty space I nearly fell into the room. It's back.
Oh, hey, Art. Sorry, I planned to have this all patched up before you maybe came back. Mind the hole.
Yep, we got it. We're good. They're just gonna like sidle along the wall.
And it's easy enough. The beds have sort of been jammed into a corner now, sort of pushed against each other like this. Make enough room so that you can have this massive
I'll have
space
it cleaned
in
up in no time. I'm sure.
Well, now that I've registered that there is indeed a hole in the ground floor, I'm good.
Then eventually Feria finishes up. Everyone takes their rest for the evening. And the morning comes. There's two of you awake in the old inn, 4 of you awake in the new. The day is yours.
Damn, that's right. The session's not done. We still got time.
Yeah, you guys gotta find where you head next. We've had the heavy emotional.
I had my emotional.
Okay.
You're all bled out. You're wounded. You're emotionally exhausted. Now that you've had all this you've had your paper cuts. You've had the lemon and the honey lemon rubbed into it. Time to find out where you're going next.
All right.
I'd rouse Art and make our way back to the inn with the most people.
Okay.
I will say, Murdoch, this inn, the beds, much firmer, much more plush. Don't think a dagger would go through as easily. But in a good way.
It is a well-named inn. But hopefully we won't be spending too much longer in Waterdeep if we can secure
No.
a way to Silvermoon. That is new to me. I don't think I've ever been.
Really, that's a first.
Well, did I say why because I lived in Waterdeep? Did I ever explain why I know Waterdeep? I don't think I did. Should I have done that?
I think you did. I think you did out of character, but in character, I don't think we've had this discussion.
I went to school here. There's
Ah.
there's a bardic college here. That is where I went in my youth. So, but we don't need to visit my alma mater or anything. I'd much rather go on the mother saving trip. So,
Yes. I've never had a that.
alma mater.
Yes. I wasn't very in my family's terms. I wasn't I was more of a socialite, not a book smarts.
Well, Bard College is sort of like July. So, let's wait
Like,
for the
right.
others and see what we're going to do today.
Lydia Snowmoon, would you guys be heading downstairs? What would you be doing as you guys wake up?
Heading down for breakfast.
Yeah, I'd head downstairs.
I did used to ghostwrite for this detective novel about two rabbits and a family that lived in a box carriage. Have you ever the box carriage bunnies? Yes, I did make a boxcar children reference.
Apparently I'm old because I didn't get it. Eventually, as those of you who start heading downstairs eventually come to find Furia and Artemis downstairs. Group of you get
Good berries, anybody? I've just, had mine for the morning,
I
so we
would
can
love
get going
one. Thank you.
as soon as possible. I'll give Lydia one.
They're delicious.
Yeah, I'll try one of those. I know you keep munching on them. I haven't. Are they good?
I just want to know if
They are called
berries.
good berries.
You know
I'll
what?
give
Yeah,
her one.
no, that tracks.
I don't understand how just one fills you up for the whole day, but I would like to see how this magic works. This druidic
There you
magic.
go.
Is it druid magic or is it just a berry? It's
Well, I mean, I create 10 of them when I want 10 of them. And I created these ones fresh this morning, and they fill you up for the whole day.
You just make berries like out of your hand, or
Yes. I mean, I can make flowers too, but they aren't as edible.
well, dandelions are very edible and cattails, but not the way you think.
A lot of them can also kill you.
Murdoch, have you
It
ever
is a
been
good-
to another plane?
What? Has anyone?
Yes. Have you? Has anyone?
Many people. Yeah, many people have.
Have
It
Yes.
you?
goes to the goat people.
Did go to the people?
I mostly make sure that things from other places don't stay here. But
Uh-oh. I mean, oh, I'm really bad at this. I've got this amulet, and I think it's from another plane. From my book reading. And that's probably not good. I've had it my entire life, right? Ugh.
there's a difference between planar immigration and planar invasion. I don't think that you mean any ill will towards the material plane, and we're going to figure out what that means at Candlekeep.
Actually, Lydia kind of has a point. We never did get around to sharing what we all learned at the library, because we were all sort of in different rooms when we all got
Oh,
back. So
God, that's right.
maybe, while figuring out what we need to do next, we could share?
Yes.
Yes, Furia, go right ahead. What did you learn?
I'll sort of look over at, side-eye Sarah. Well, instead of helping Lydia like I intended to, I went and looked up the guilds that have been name-tossing, like Art's recent acquisition. I read about the Harpers, I read about the Centarum, I also read a bunch about the Emerald Enclave, which I'd never heard about before. But unfortunately, the They didn't really have much on the Harpers or the Zentarum. But
They work in secret.
so
Sarah's new guild?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can tell you what I know, but I don't know much.
There was a book, I believe, on hers, but I didn't read it. So interesting, but not extremely helpful, as they were a little bit short on knowledge.
I don't know if I'm even welcome back into the library.
Why not?
And Lydia, you said your necklace is not from here.
Well, I couldn't identify a rock from here. So looks like it might be from somewhere else. That's not Faerun or whatever the world is called, because I can't remember it right now.
Toro.
Thank you. That. It's not from that.
Perhaps. It's almost like we're getting more things from other planes than this one. Which means that my group has been doing a bad job.
Well, it's just rocks and possibly Feria coming through, so.
Oh, true. Rocks and Faerun.
I suppose.
And she was a
Sarah,
baby.
let's not get off topic. What did you learn?
I didn't learn much. That's why I was asking the librarian for more information, which also reminds me my information should be ready. But I'm not quite sure if I'm welcome back in the library. So, Artemis, how would you like to go read some books?
Sarah, you didn't answer my
To
question.
learn.
I learned that there is a group of people called the Fate Touched or Touched by Fate. There's a fellow named Gastonbin who wrote the little pamphlet I found. Again, not a lot of information. He set up a group of freedom fighters that were basically trying to go against fate. I don't really know what that has to do with information I have. But
So my question is, why were you looking for this information? How does this all fit in with what we've, encountered or learned so far?
honestly, it hasn't. It's mostly just something I've been dealing with. It as of right now, I want us to focus on Artemis's whole situation, but I will let you all know it has to deal with my husband.
Okay.
All right. But, if we're going to help you resolve your problem, we need the information so that we can help.
I know, but it's not something to start the day off with. Oh, is that fair enough for me to say?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to smuggle me back into the library?
Maybe
Well,
we
the
can
other thing is not go back.
Yes,
Yeah.
Murdoch, you mentioned that Candlekeep has quite a repository, so once that'll be on the back burner for now, but maybe when we find ourselves in Candlekeep, we could think more about that.
I guess you could say we're putting Candlekeep on the back burner.
Yes, we could say that. as we were originally planning it south of Baldur's Gate, so if we can get to Silvery Moon from here, in which case we still need to find a teleportation circle, figure out what's going on with Art's mother, then we can double back down, go through Baldur's Gate, I can do some business there, and then we can continue on to Candlekeep. I think that seems like a good road map. Stopping at the house, of course, and having a talk.
Of course.
Could we speaking of topics that are maybe not appropriate for the morning, what's the city of the dead in relations to Waterdeep?
Oh, it's a section of the city that is, it's like a park that you can walk through, and it's also the city cemetery.
Oh, okay. I was about to
It's
say
actually
there's a
quite,
bit.
it's nice. Trees, grass. Why?
Could we could we take a stroll through there? Or this is
It, it's open to the public during the daytime.
okay.
Why?
Cool.
It seems. I mean, shore parks are nice and trees and grass and everything, but is there something going on?
Yeah, those Harper people. The little They stop when they say that and they look around because they're not really supposed to say. They just told me that there might be like someone over there that I might need to like see, and you know, if they have a way to get to nearby Silvery Moon, might as well stop by if we're in the area. You know.
A teleportation circle in the city of the dead, or meeting someone in the city of the dead.
Meeting someone in the city of the dead that might know more about a teleportation circle to get near to Silvery Moon.
Well, then let's go. See if we can find person
perfect.
warp
That will
circle.
cut weeks off of our journey if we can go today.
I don't know if they'll be cool with everybody else, but we might as well just kind of go there. Honestly, I thought that the City of the Dead would be a lot more scarier, but you saying that it's kind of like a nice park with just like dead people there. You know what? That's not as scary as I thought it was gonna be. Okay.
It's just a cemetery.
Okay.
It's actually just north of us. Yeah, it's not too far. Let's go!
Yep.
Well, Batman wipe.
yeah.
So as you guys pick up some of the food, take off running. That does not take Murdoch long at all to lead you guys up. It's literally, you head north a little ways, take a right, and then it leads you right to the entranceway. And yeah, it's, Murdoch is right. As you're walking in, it does have that sort of, I guess I'll say a very, very nice, like, just a very beautiful cemetery. But thinking old school, like mausoleum style cemetery. Everything's above ground, large buildings, and you can see names are printed on the front of these mausoleums.
I have no idea who I'm looking for.
They didn't give you a location or a name or.
They gave me a name, but
Maybe see if it matches anyone on the stones.
I'm
Perhaps
hoping that it's
somebody
a
in a
living
blue cloak.
person. Yeah.
Could look for a blue cloak. Well, it's a good place to walk anyway. We can all just go for a walk. And if we find someone that you're supposed to meet, then I'm sure that they will make themselves known to you.
Or if it's like, a tombstone, if we all keep an eye out for that name, maybe we'll find it faster.
Well, what's the name?
Okay. This time they are going to look around. The name is Myrna.
Myrna,
Doesn't
what?
ring- I don't know. That's it.
All right. Well, I'll keep an eye out on. We can have some people looking for a person, and some people can read the stones as we have a pleasant walk in the park.
Okay.
Okay.
So, who's
I'm
looking
not
for
good
what?
at this.
I'll keep an eye on the stones as we walk through.
Okay.
I'm desperately looking for a person.
Okay.
I'll be looking, like, I'll be kind of looking for both. Like, if I don't see the name anywhere, I'll, like, do, like, a
Okay,
look
so you're
around
looking at
for a
stones
cloak.
first, and then
Yeah.
the rest of you.
I'll actually do person just because I've noticed the blue robes a couple times before, so I'll look out for them.
Okay. Snow Moon and Lydia.
Be
You don't
looking
have
for
to.
a
You can
blue.
just be wandering around if you want to.
I'm
but-
I'm probably looking for a blue person. Blue.
okay.
Blue person.
Sonic.
Part of the blue
I'll
man
look
group.
I'll look towards the stones first, as I guess it'll probably be easier to spot a person.
Okay, so go ahead, everyone, make a perception check for me.
Need as many people looking for it.
Gotta get my dice on.
Oh, that's a 1, so that's a 4 with my modifier.
Alrighty then.
That's a 3, which is a 4 with my modifier.
I got a 19.
Okay.
I got an 18.
That
With
was a
my-
4, so it's a 9.
Yeah.
With my modifier, 21.
Okay.
Thank you.
So as the group of you are sort of wandering around through here, and it's a fairly large park. So as the group of you are looking, and again, each of you are looking for your own thing. Lydia, out of the corner of your eye, you notice a very interesting looking individual. Very sort of pale blue skin.
Oh my gosh, they actually were blue
Standing.
person.
Standing in front of a stone. Looks like they've got flowers and they're just standing there. Seem to be wearing looks to be like traveling clothes. You don't see them wearing any sort of armor or anything, but they're just standing there, head bowed down a little bit. Sort of looks over at you a little bit. Can I help you?
No.
Who?
Myrna!
Starts leans a little bit away from you.
I shouldn't have
I
said
lean a little
anything.
away from him.
Oh no.
I think you should leave. I'd like to be alone with my wife.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh.
No.
My deepest deepest control. Oh my god. Sorry! What do I have? Can I throw anything in, like... I run up to him, I give him, like, 10 gold, and I'm like,
Why would you?
buy
You're making this worse. You're making this so
buy
much
some
worse.
more flowers!
Imagine
And I
going
run
up to
away.
someone in a cemetery and handing them a 10 and being like, ah!
Buy some more flowers! And I run away. I don't care what direction.
Some more
No.
flowers! Clip this, somebody!
I just run.
And the gods are once again called to the party.
I'm so sorry.
Imagine you're a grieving widower. Crazy person.
POV, you're at your wife's grave.
Oh no!
My face hurts.
Please, if there's somebody in chat, please clip that.
I'm so sorry. Lydia, do you please be sorry?
Oh my word.
Don't buy more flowers.
As those of
You're
you
a
guys have
cleric.
sort of been
Grieving widower.
You're at your wife's grave and a priest comes up to you. Gives you $10. Buy more flowers.
And I'm going
I'm so sorry.
Thank you, giant holy woman.
as those of you near and none of you are like right on top of her. She just sort of wandered off and as the group of you watch, as Lydia takes off running into just full sprint into the middle of the city of the dead, you all sort of turn and start looking around to see what's chasing her. And you see this guy looking there, gold coins on him just collapse on the ground in front of this stone. And it doesn't seem to be yelling for anybody, just on the ground, and you see he seems to be crying at the moment.
What did Lydia do?
Lydia, what did you say to that man? Lydia!
You're probably gonna chase her down.
Can I like go around a corner and cast Sky Self Defense on?
Sure, he's not following you as you disappear off into there and cast your enchantment.
Yeah, I'm gonna look like a old elven woman or something. I don't know, something very inconspicuous, very inconspicuous looking. I'm gonna hobble back. Like, hey guys, that's not Myrna.
Okay.
Why did you go up to that person that were just standing there? Did they do
It was a
something?
blue person.
No, they
Oh,
wear blue cloaks.
Lydia, that man is sobbing.
I know.
No, they wear blue cloaks. They're not
Too
blue
bad that
people.
they teach us how to sail and not how to bless people. Oh dear.
Let's continue on.
Let's go to.
Should I hug him? No. Okay.
No.
Just leave.
I'm gonna like take Lydia's hand. Yeah, we're gonna go this way.
Okay.
Don't even look at him. Just stop looking at him. Don't look at him.
Okay.
About
you give
that
him money?
time, Furia, you see a crypt with the name Myrna written above the door.
Guys, I think it's over there. Is that the name, Artemis?
It looks like it. It looks about right.
So it is a dead person?
What do I have? Can I look at the name on the crypt for the one that the blue man was standing outside of real quick? Just glance behind and see if I can see it.
Oh,
you
boy.
guys
Lydia.
have walked a little ways. You'd have to walk back over towards him.
Then stop looking.
Lydia, just let it be.
But I want to send him more money and an apology letter.
No.
More money's not going to
Give
help.
money.
They just want to be. They're just mourning.
A letter?
No,
Okay.
they don't know you.
Okay.
Leave him be,
Lydia, at this
probably.
point, you're the last person that man wants to see.
Oh, I know. Alright. Okay.
Let's take a look at this tomb, everyone.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So, was this just a meeting point then? Or are we...
Is there a magic
Well,
word?
Can we not try to enter?
There's
If we want to,
fine, Myrna.
Maybe
You're
not.
sure they didn't have a last name or something? I mean, there must be more than one Myrna buried here.
is
Is there?
this a big enough crypt to look like a
Big enough for
What does a crypt
family?
look like?
So think
Crypt,
like it's a big stone building. There's a door on the front of it.
Oh, okay.
Typically, it would be a place where, like, if you walked inside, there would be a place for a sarcophagus where they would lay the remains.
Is there like a harp symbol anywhere?
You don't see anything out here.
Okay.
Thestral. Drat. Okay, I thought that was gonna work.
What?
Another name, perhaps? Or what
I
was
don't
that?
know. I couldn't really hear. Well, I don't know if he said see Thestral or say Thestral. And last time I said something at like a staircase thing, and it worked.
What is the name of? Is it the full name above the doorway? Is it just Myrna?
Is it?
I guess
Does
not.
it just say Myrna on the.
Oh, I thought you were asking art. When you're looking at the
No.
crypt, it just says Myrna above it.
Okay.
Well, we could go inside if we really think we should.
Or we
and
could keep looking.
see if it's unlocked. Open it all the way yet,
No!
just to see.
No! Detect magic. Haha. I can do that. Do you want me to do that first? I can see if there is any.
Yes, I sometimes
Magic on
forget
the door.
about the magics. Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah, probably.
I
I
would,
would
like
too.
I would have liked to watch you push open a
Like to
stone
be
door
alone
with your bare hands.
You can do that after I detect magic on it.
He doesn't
how
have
about-
bare hands. He has dragon.
Oh boy.
Yes. Fury has bare hands. Do you want to see those?
Detect the magic.
I have to be an entire bear to have bear.
Alright.
Know if Dragonborn could blush or not, but
Let's go with yes.
It's a fancy world.
And you are sparkling white, so
Aww.
Oh,
So no.
you're all red and
Aw.
oh
fudgy.
no, he just like kind of puts his
Flesh
head
is
down. And,
blue.
Aww.
it takes you a couple of moments. You cast your incantations. You don't see any magic on the door.
Okay,
It is a big stone door though, so it's not you're not
right.
really
There can be
able to-
magic on the other side.
Yeah, you can't
Right.
see inside, but
There's no magic on the door, but be careful because I can't detect it on the other side.
so I guess I'll
I mean,
see.
this is
Like,
the
do
only
I see a
lead I
lock
have.
first of all?
doesn't look to have a lock on it.
Okay, I'll try to budget just a bit to like start it. See if it
Okay,
moves.
as you go to sort of give it that little like really get it moving because it's a big stone door. The minute you bump into it, it actually swings freely in
Oh.
as easily as if it was a plywood screen door.
I knew you were strong, but that was impressive.
Well, that felt funny though. It seems a little too light almost. You said you didn't see
Just
any
take the
magic,
compliment.
Lydia?
Should blush again.
Oh, what?
Oh my god, you
um,
got to teach him this stuff.
So, by the way, it is a code legal that it's part of code legal that you're not supposed to like break into these mausoleums. So, if we're gonna go in, we should all go in really quickly before someone
Sorry.
sees us.
Or
Okay.
you
Hop on him.
after I open the door to say that?
I'd
But-
run up to him,
I was-
I'd give him like 10 gold, and I'm like,
Ironic to see.
Might have been
The
distracted.
Well, are
law-
we in?
And I run away.
Well, are we in breach of contract now if we step inside, or?
No,
Buy some more
no,
flowers,
because
we're
this is
gonna run away.
how.
I don't care what direction.
Some more
No.
flowers.
It's dark inside. I'll just go inside and see if there's magic.
Yes, hurry up. If we're going, go.
Okay.
I just run.
And the guards are once again called to the party.
It's, that we are all seen evidence,
Oh no.
and will be going to jail.
Everyone roll for initiative.
So, as you all start to head inside the crypt, as you head in, the first thing you notice is that there is a rather large sarcophagus sitting centered in the room. As the six of you enter, you have a little bit of light coming in through the door, resting on top of the sarcophagus, and all of you recognize the emblem on the sarcophagus as the image of the Harpers. And as you notice that, you hear a sound as the door closes behind you. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh no.
I took the sigh back.
As the door has closed, as you have found your way into Myrna's crypt.
Thestral! Thestral!
Tamil!
Dread! Tamil!
Swordfish!
So, remember, folks,
Oh my god.
we will be back next week to find out exactly what is in the
Crypt.
what is in the crypt. And I just realized that was probably my fault, Victoria, because I think I clicked a button and had something playing in the background. I thought it had paused. Apparently it did not, because I could not hear it. Apparently our chat was hearing some of the audio from the stream playing through the background, which means it had to be coming.
That's what it was.
So so that must have been coming through mine somehow. Which I apologize. I thought I had paused that because I had to clip Lydia in the mortar.
Great.
Oh, that is the best. That one needs to just go on YouTube as itself.
I want you to always remember, folks, when wandering through a graveyard and seeing somebody obviously distraught, looking at a grave, remember, run up to them, yell a random name, throw money at them, and then run in the opposite direction. Because, hey, it's what a cleric would do.
He started crying.
So don't forget, folks, when you are going to completely crush a mourner's soul, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. We'll see you next time, folks.
Oh no.